Which administrators of Ogun State public and approved private schools in the state. I welcome every one of us to today's session. We are confident and rest assured, even with the presence of the users that we have on the platform already. It shows that we are committed to ensure that we have each free exercise on 2024 BECE registration. To straight to business, I have before me the Deputy Director of Education, Curriculum Development and Evaluation Department. Quickly, we have his introduction, brief intro, and thereafter we start go to the business of the day. Thank you.
Good afternoon, all school administrators of public and private schools in Ogun State. You are all welcome to this 2024 BECE registration orientation sensitization exercise. This is 2024 BECE registration of public and schools and private on OGSERA digital platform. Webinar on 2023/2024 BECE registration process for schools. This exercise is going to assist you in actually doing the registration of your wells in your schools, both in public and approved private schools. The ministry is committed to ensure that schools, both public and private schools, have each free registration processes. And I'm trying to employ you, each and every one of you, to maximize this very opportunity, be able to follow what the moderators will be actually teaching you, so that you don't have problems along the line when you are doing the registration process of your words. You are also expected to ask questions at this section where you have any gray area during the citation exercise. So kindly employ you to kindly make use of this very meeting so as to resolve all gray areas you have in at the The registration fee for public is 7,000. Private school is 7,500. As we have actually rolled out the circular to this effect. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much, sir. The Curriculum Development and Evaluation Department. Straight away, we move to the business of the day, and we'll be having a demo on the registration processes. This webinar is scheduled as a refreshing course to us. It is not different from what we've been having before, but there are needs as a result of the experiences we had in time past. So this is why the ministry, in its resolution to ensure that schools have each fee registration process, as earlier said by the DD. And to take us through this session, I will be inviting the officer to take us. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, my deputy director. Thank you for your words. My SPAs in various schools, you're all welcome to this webinar. As our usual practice, we want to have an each free BECE registration for this year. That is why we are organizing this webinar. My name is Egberongbe Oluwasegun. So I'll be putting us through the procedures and the expectation of the ministry during the registration period. I will be sharing my screen so that we can see what exactly we are to do this year. So I think we can all see my screen. Are you seeing it? I think you can see my screen now. So now our BECE registration for this year is taking as is going to be discussed. Now we have divided it into three parts. Part A, which is the general requirement for all schools, either you are public or you are private. So we all have our OGSERA platform login details. So the first thing is for you to log in to OGSERA using your email address and your password. So after you've done that, you go straight and click Unified Examination. So when you click on Unified Examination, then you go to BECE. You click on BECE. When you click on BECE, you now go to click on Application. We are still going to show you the demo of what I'm talking about. So I just want to go through it so that you know what is initially required. So when you are at the application, you now go straight and click on Create Application. You have it at the left top side of your portal. Then after that one, it will now ask you to import your candidates that want to do this year BECE exams. So when you import them, that is where the second part now comes in. So the second part now talks about public schools. The public school, they are not going to pay because government takes care of those. So what they will do is to generate the BECE code. After they generate the BECE code, they will now go straight and click on the bottom button at the left hand side so that they can be able to download the template to complete their continuous assessment. So when you download that template, all the names of the candidate that has been imported into BECE platform, you will see them with their BECE number. So when you see this, you now enter their CA. So for each subject, there are 3 CAs: CA1, CA2, and CA3. The CA1 is their GSS1, which is 5 marks. The CA2 is their GSS2, which is 12.5. and the CA3 is their JSS3, which is 12.5. The summation of all those CAs make up to 30 marks. This is where we used to have issues, but I believe this year we all follow the procedures. I will repeat it again. The CAS 1, which is CA1, is 5 marks. So whatever the candidate is going to score will not exceed 5 marks. The CA2 is 12.5. That means the highest point is 12.5. And the CA3 is 12.5. The highest point is 12.5. So when you enter the score for all your candidates, you will now upload the results. So what's at the left hand side where you downloaded the templates, that's where you will see upload again, where you can upload the templates. But please, when you download, don't alter the names that you downloaded it with. Don't put the name of your school. If you put the name of your school, it will not be uploaded. As you just download, just save it like that. After you have downloaded it, you can do all other things offline. Now, you can now upload the same templates. So after you upload the templates, you go to your portal. By the right hand side up, you will see upload results. So the number of subjects that you uploaded for each candidate will be displayed against their names. So if you have uploaded 9 subjects, it will display 9. We are still going to show you all this. So if it is displaying zeros, it simply means that you have not uploaded anything. But if it shows you the number of subjects that you have uploaded, it means that you are good to go. So don't just download, fill the course and leave it like that. If you download, leave this course and leave it like that, you have done nothing. Once again, if you download, you enter this course and you don't upload, you have done nothing. And if you don't do the CAS, you will not get your result at the end of the examination. Please, this is very, very important. Now I will go to part C, which concerns the private schools. After you have imported all the candidates, the next thing for you to do now is to proceed to make payments. So while you are making the payment, is of 2 parts. The first part is for you to make the platform payments, which is 500 naira. So if you want to make the payments, if you are not paying for all the candidates, don't tick all. Just tick at the left hand side the candidates you want to pay for. If your candidate is 20 and you want to pay for 10, click the name of the 10 candidates you want to pay for. Then go ahead and pay. So after you make that payment of the platform fee, you can now come back and make the payment for the exams, which is 7,000 naira. So 7,000 plus 500 makes 7,500. So there is no increment in the payment. What you paid last year is what you are still paying this year. So after you now make your payments, you will now go and generate BECE code. Let me sound this again. After you make the payment, you must generate the BECE code. If you don't generate the BECE code, if you download the templates, you will find nothing at that place because it works with the BECE code. So when you now generate the BECE code, you now go straight and download the template for the continuous assessment. And as rightly said, 5, 12.5, and 12.5. You will do it for all the subjects that your candidates are writing exams for. So after you have filled that, you will now upload the same thing. Don't change the name on that template. So after you have uploaded it, for you to confirm whether what you've uploaded is already at the portal, by the right hand side, look up, you will see result uploaded. So when you see result uploaded, the number of subject that you upload, you will see it against each of the candidates. After you have done that, you can now screenshot it as your own record. But if you are seeing a 0 at that side, it simply means that you have not done anything. So please, for us to have a smooth BECE this year, make sure you follow all this procedure. They are very simple and users friendly. So in case you now have any question to ask, so please feel free to ask your question so that I'll be able to understand everything now once and for all. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to show us the demo so that we can see what we are really talking about. Share screen. Now, if you can see my screen, as rightly said, you log in into OGSERA using your school ID, the email address, and the password. Now, I want to start from the beginning so that we understand the entire process. I'm refreshing. Now, this is my own screen. I want to choose a school from here. So I've choose Alake 2 High School Junior in Meko. So as I've entered into this school now, what's the next thing for me to do is to go to Unified. When you click on Unified, you now go and click on BECE. Just hold on. Now I'm logging in into Alake 2 in the Meko 4. So let's see. Now I'm already at Alake 2 School Junior. So you go to Unified. From Unified, you choose BECE. From BECE, you now go ahead and choose Application. So when you choose Application, you can see my screen now. So the next thing for you to go is to look at this icon I'm pointing on, which is Create Application. So you click on this Create Application. You can see it's showing me that admission is closed. So I want you to see this because this is telling us that the admission for last year is closed. But we want to activate it now so that you can see for this year. I will now refresh it. I close. I now say, still the same. I'm refreshing my screen. Now, so you can see that after I click on Create Application, it took me to this screen. It's asking me to import the GSS students at Alaketu from their school portal to BECE platform. So if I should click on this Import GSS3 now, it will now bring all the students at Alaketu into BECE platform for this year. So you can see now, we have 83 candidates for this year at Alaketu High School Junior in Mekoafon. So because this is a demo, you can see at this side that it displays paid for all of them. Because this is a public school. But for private school, you will not see this paid here until you pay for that candidates. So this one now that is for public, the next thing for me to do is now to come to this left side that is saying download templates. I think you can see the icon. So if I click on download templates, it will now ask me this question. Do I really want to download it? I say yes. You can now see that no names is here and nothing is displayed here. I purposely do this because I want you to see it. I have not generated BECE code. That is why you are not seeing anything here. Now, let me go back. Now, look at this place. It's telling me to generate BECE code. So when I click it, you see this successful BECE number generated. So you can see this is the candidate. This is the BECE number that has been generated for me now. Now, let me go back to download templates. It's working on it. You can see the difference now. Because I have generated the BECE code, that is why I can see the names of those candidates. So now, you can now save it on your laptop because you don't want to waste your data. You cannot be entering their information here. So when you are saving, you can see the name on top here. That is the name for this template. Do not change it. Do not change it at all. If you change it, then that is where the issue will come. You will not be able to generate. You will not be able to upload what you have entered. So make sure that Sorry, I want you to see my screen. I think you can see my screen now. So whatever, now you can now save this template with the name that is displayed on the top here. So after you have saved it, you can now go ahead and fill their scores. Like I've rightly said before, you can see when you click on the first CA1, it said that allowed input only number between zeros and 5. That means the maximum number you can enter here is 5. And CA2 is telling us that the maximum number you can enter is between 0 and 12.5. And the CA3 is telling us that the maximum number you can enter is 12.5. So you will do this for all the subjects that is being offered in your school. So after you have entered for all the subjects that is being taken in your school, you will now save it. So it is this template that you will now go ahead and upload. I think you are going along with me. So when you have uploaded everything now, you can now go and search for it. Whether what you have uploaded is really what you have done or not. So if you now come to this upload results. So when you click on this upload results, it will take you to this place. So when you are at this place, you will now browse where you have saved the template you downloaded and you have entered their figures. So when you browse for it, you will now click on upload. I don't want to upload it because I don't want to deny the students in those schools not to be able to do their continuous assessment. So immediately you click on this upload, it will now upload those results into your BECE platform. Now, if you have uploaded it, you will see this place that my icon is in. You can see that everything is zeros. Now, if I have uploaded their scores, the number of subjects I uploaded will show at this place. If you are seeing a 0 here, it simply means that you have not uploaded their CA. And this is an error from the beginning. Because no CA, there will be no results. Please, let us take very, very note of this one. So if you have seen this number changing, that means you have uploaded rightly what you want to upload. Then after you have done that, you can now screenshot So let me repeat myself because it's as if you are not seeing it. So when you upload the results, you will look at this place where my icon is. Those zeros must change to the number of continuous assessment that you have uploaded. If you have uploaded 10 subjects, it will change 0 to 10. If you have uploaded 9 subjects, it will change zeros to 9. So that is an evidence that truly you have uploaded their CAS. So for you to have an evidence, you can screenshot it and keep it as your own evidence. So when you have done that, you now come to this left hand side. You can see that the register is showing 83 and the cast is showing zeros. It's because nothing has been uploaded for this school. So if their cast has been uploaded for all the 83 candidates, these zeros will change to 83. This is another evidence that you have done it. But if you have 83 students and what you are seeing here is 40, it's saying that you still have 43 CAs to upload. So at the end of the day, it is only those 40 that will have results. So we are doing all this one so that there will not be issues at all this year. And I want to believe that we all understood the process so far. So as I've rightly said, if it is a private school, there is an icon here that you will pick that will highlight that you want to pay for all the candidates. But if you are not paying for all the candidates, you need to click on each candidate that you want to pay for. So let me see if we can have a private demo. Why the interlude? So I'm trying to navigate to a private school so that we can show us how we are going to make our payments. It's a process that is not too hard. So we are going to follow the procedures. In as much as we follow the procedures, there will not be any issues at all. So I want to use a school in Abeokuta North. So I am at Abeokuta Capital Secondary School. So I click on my unified. I click on BECE. I go to application. So you can see from this application now, you can see that the registered students is 0 and their continuous assessment is 0. So I now go ahead and click on create application. So we wait on. So you just as you have done for the private schools, we are going to do the same for the private. So you go and click on create application. Now you can see it gives me the same thing. I need to import those students to BECE platform, which I have just clicked on. So you can see they have this number of candidates. So now you can see, let me click on generate BECE code here. You can see that there is no BECE number generated for me. Why? Because no payment has been made. So even if you can now see that you have to make your payment. So the next thing for you to do now is to click on, if you are paying for all of them, this single icon will do that for you. So when you click on this, it will now ask you to go and make your payments, which is here. So when you make these payments, you know this is telling me that I need to pay 8,000 naira. That is 16 multiplied by 5. It's giving me 8,000 naira. So I can now click on this make payments. Yes. So it takes me to this place. So far I'm not paying. So I have to run back. So after I've made the platform payments, I will now have the privilege to go and make payment for the exams. And that exam will now be 16 multiplied by 7. You can see it display 112,000 before. So after I've made those payments, that is when I can now go ahead and generate the BECE code. So you can see, now this is 7,000 because I picked only one candidate. So in a situation whereby you don't want to pay for all of them, it means that you will be picking one by one how many candidates you want to pay for. I've just picked 4, and 4 times 500 is 2,000, and 7,000 times 4 is 28,000. So I can go ahead and make my payment. So after I've made my payment, I can now go ahead and generate the BECE code. So all other procedures goes on as the one for public school. So the only difference in the public school is the payment aspect. So when you have made your payment, you can now go ahead, generate your BECE code. Then at this place, you will see an icon that will enable you to download the template for your class. So when you download the template for your class, you can now enter their scores. Maximum. We are not telling you that you put 5 and 12.5 for them. They must have their results before. So like for an example now, in GSS1, their cumulative, let's say Olauton has 70% as the cumulative score in JSS1. So if you multiply 70% by 5%, that is going to give you 70 multiplied by 0.05. That is going to give you 3.5. If that candidate has 80% as the cumulative score in GSS1, that is 80 multiplied by 0.05. That is going to give you 4. So unless a candidate has 100 over 100 in JSS1, that is when that candidate can have 5 marks. So the maximum is 5 marks, while in JSS2 it is 12.5 marks. So that one is telling you that anything that candidate has in JSS2 as the cumulative score, multiply it by 0.125. Ditto to JSS3. So these are the scores that will enter for them. And in the past years, we can see that most of us just use a formula to generate a score for them. And we just copy that score and go and copy and paste on these templates. At the end of the day, it will show you that you have entered CAS. But perhaps what we will be seeing here is formula. So please, let us avoid all those ones. Let us enter their scores. Let us take the pain and enter their scores one by one. If you use formula, we will see it here at the end of the day, and your candidate will not get results. Please let us note all these things we are telling us. So I think at this junction, there will be time for us to ask our question so that we iron everything out today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I want to appreciate us once again for standing by. We've been seeing notification from our people who have been asking a series of questions. And before going to questions, uh, we have an important information for us. Those information has been shared earlier through the zonal office, but it's equally important that this is emphasized at this forum. So please, let's pay attention to this.
Well,
Our
I really want to appreciate Mr. Egbenengwe for that wonderful and well explained process of registering students for this 2024 BECE. I'm sure the all the SPAs for both public and private school can now have a stress-free registration for this year. However, I really want to stress this because everything we do, we should have time frame. Now, for online registration and payment for candidates in private.
uh, so we have questions on that. Otherwise, Betukun is asking that all the new students haven't gotten the name, and how can we correct names? Yes, in the course of the week, we had this same session for public school refresher training for our public schools SPAs, and change of name was part of what that was discussed. So you can visit our YouTube page for processes on how to effect corrections on learners' name. But let it be noted that correction of names does not permit outright replacement of learners' details. Cannot be changing the total names of learners replacing with another student. You have not permitted. And if you have learners who requested in that are yet to be issued LIN, let it be noted that without LIN, no registration. So it is until those learners add in that you can take registration for the learners. We actually have a question from Adeyemo Taiwo that how can you correct error on names and date of birth? Yes, that is what data update supports. This equally answer questions of Superstar Academy. How can you correct wrong spelled names? Yes, data update requests address complaints on information that was supplied wrongly, wrong spelling, misarrangement of names. What you need to do, just initiate those requests, and if your request merits approval, if it is not targeted towards replacing a valid learner, it will be approved. So we move to, yes, we have an important question here from Omotayo Adesina this, that can school register students in batches? As it was said during the presentation, and the portal supports this. But the most important information is ensure you do all this during the window while registration is still open. It was said that the time frame is important. You have to keep to the time frame for this registration. So that address that. We have another question. What of students whose names are not correctly spelled? Can we make amendment? That is permitted. We can make amendments to those errors. Yes, we have a question here. Can we have manual procedure to take us through the process of this registration? Yes, the manual procedure is equally part of what we've been releasing. On every assignment that we roll out, we share manual procedure that accompany the assignment through the ZUs. Get in touch with your ZUs, be on the platforms, either on the Telegram and the WhatsApp. Through this platform, you get the procedure. So, as it was said earlier, this is equally part of the question from Adeyemo Adeyonju. New students that haven't gotten in until these students have in. And if we have requests that are valid, be rest assured that your request will be attended to. What is the time frame for this registration? Yes, that will be relayed again. That will be relayed again. Let's quickly run through other questions. Yes, can the former speaker tell us deadline for payment? That will be relayed. What is the total score for cars? Total score for cars. It is 30. You can still revisit this presentation on our YouTube page. The score is 5, 12, 5 for the first class, which is GS1. Class 2 is 12.5. Class 3 is 12.5, which makes a accumulation of 30. And it was said earlier that you should avoid use of formula in computation of this course. Iwasomi Ibagbo is asking that how to get a link for new students. Well, if you have any learner in your school who is not having link, I want to say This is an intentional act of yours because the ministry in the past 3 years has advised that all learners should be enrolled for lean. So if you are still having any valid learner in your school that required Zane, request for this. And if verified not to exist on the portal, the Zane will be issued to the learner. And most of the requests we'll be having, it was revealed that this learner whom you are requesting Zane for already have Zane at their previous schools. And we already have a solution that address that. What we only need to take is inter-private school transfer. We need to take inter-private school transfer. And with that, the former school will be notified and that learner will be admitted into your school if approved from the former school. Still having questions here. What was the deadline? That will still be relayed. Yes, you have a question here. How can we remove student name from the class? Students that are left the school. This is coming from Joseph Olayinka Emmanuel. For the purpose of this registration, and before now, you have access to remove students from our portal, but it was discovered that this privilege is being abused. That is why that was removed. And when you get to your BECE page, as it was relayed during the presentation, you have access to select the learner who are taking the registration. For example, if you're having a CT student on your BECE page and you're paying for 20 learners are taking the examination, you select the 20 learners who are taking the exam and that address that. So for now, there is no provision to remove students from class. So you select the learner who are taking that examination. And I want to also say this. This is part of the experience we had in the last registration and the last examination. Is to discover that some schools register for learner not mindful of the name that exists on that learner's profile. They went ahead, this registration with the intent that that name will be changed. This is not possible. So when you are making the payment, you are paying for the learner that has that thing and whose profile is attached to that thing. So it is important we get this. The learners you are paying for, verify the name, and if you have typographical error on the names, that is still permitted. And an additional information is on the passport upload. Reminded it is quite important to have passport on a learner's profile. And in the course of past week, the ministry rolled out procedure for us to do this. This is absolutely free, and that is available on the profile management module. Also on our BECE page, if you have pending students that doesn't have passports, you can equally fix their passports. So while we look forward to other questions, I will invite Mr. Awari for an important information to us.
we believe that time should be enough for any school to register their learner. But should in case we have schools that they believe they are left out, that's why the ministry opens this late registration window, which we believe will start for Saturday, May 11th and ends at Saturday, 18th of May. Please and please and please ensure that you register your wards during this time, because the ministry is not going to answer any request of any late registration. Please, it's very important that we address strictly to this. Okay. We don't encourage this, but we believe if you do your students gradually, then yes, you still have enough time to do all others. But we believe if you are serious as a school or as a school proprietor, we believe 2 months is not too short for a school to do registration for their wards. So with this, we want us to please note, and I'm repeating it. You know why I'm saying it all over and all over again? Because we've had problems over time, and we don't want that to repeat itself this year. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Before we bring the session to a close, we want to do justice to one of the few questions we have from Madana. The question is coming from Queen Happiness. Queen Happiness is asking how from outside the state, if you have any Zana who are coming from outside the state, is Zana coming for the purpose of BECE? The Zana is leaving the state to Ogun State to undertake BECE examination. That is not permitted. So if you have any Zana who has been with you before now, they have privilege to be registered through LIN request. And also some requests, the SPA, either the head teacher who initiated that request, did not complete, failed to change the analysis info to the new information. For example, if the information required had typographical errors, it is important that you change that information before you can submit. Some submitted without initiating, and if that is approved, automatically that payment is gone, and you will be required to make the payment again. So that is why some of such are not attended to. So you are implored to check your profile very well, ensure those requests are the right side of the portal where you have edited data. We have original data at the left side and edited data at the right hand side. Ensure the information is filled, that you're not having null at that part. That is important. It is actually important. Our question is coming from YouTube Radio TV. The transfer for private school option on the portal is not active. What can you do? Well, I can't confirm that you are not having complaint. You are not having that access on your portal. If you are not having that communicate that to the ZDO, and that will be communicated to us. All schools have access to fix this. For our people, Albert is asking, can we still apply for them? And how do you apply? You can visit the ministry YouTube page for past productions on the request of Lynn. You are to visit your OGSERA page. The last module on your page is the Lynn request, SIM manager. Click on SIM manager and Lynn request. From there, you initiate request for design. You can also visit zonal offices or join them via their platforms and request for these updates. Yes, a question is coming. Obarigoro James. Please, do we have to use the paid version of the sometimes it's not, or because it's not loading? Yes. If you are having difficulty having access to your portal, that is because you are not on the subscribe mode. Get in touch with the EduTimes agent and your portal will be activated. Hold on, person. Yes, we have question. How do you purge cars in case we mistakenly upload wrong cars? This question is coming from. So, Government Science and Technical College, I am advising because during the course of this training, it was said that we should avoid errors in our imputations. Usage of formula should be avoided. And before you fill, and after filling, do a thorough verification, thorough checking before you upload. Once you upload your cars, that is the final. So you are implored to verify your information before it is submitted. Thank you, everyone. It is on this note that we will be bringing the session to a close. Thank you very much.